You know, I've been trying to do this damn thing for weeks. I actually had it done. I went back to edit it, and the sound was missing. So I had to go back and do it all again. But I'm glad I did because I forgot 2 songs. So it gave me a chance to go back and do it again. I've been talking about this since I did my influencers about them, and now I'm going to get it right down here. The top 30 Def Leppard singles, according to Wikipedia. I'm TC Kirkham, the Kirkham Report. Let's rank this!
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm TC Kirk of the Kirkham Report. Hi, VC. Thank you for joining me on this much delayed edition of Rank This. I need to get a Def Leppard hat. I used to have one, and it got, it was just, I threw it out after a while because it was like trashed. Going to do my top 30 Def Leppard singles. Now, this was not easy because there's a lot of stuff that wasn't released commercially on a single, but they were released as promos to radio stations. Anything that was on the Wikipedia list of their singles are included here. And so I'm not going to go over any of the ones I skipped. There's quite a few that I didn't make the list because I decided to narrow it to just 30. I think all of the studio albums are represented here except On Through the Night and up through the more recent stuff. I might be wrong, though. No, I take that back. The self-titled Def Leppard album, I don't believe is here either. Most of those are in the also-rans. Although I love them, they're just not as good as what I loved on the earlier ones. So basically, I just took them and I thought about how much I loved them, how much I played them. I'm a big Def Leppard fan. They're in my top 3 of all time, along with Carpenters and Hanson. And this is going to be difficult. It was very difficult for me to narrow all this down. So let's get started. I'll tell you the songs, album, and a little bit about why I picked it that way. And we'll kick it off at number 30 with Hysteria's Women. Women has that wonderful opening where it just sort of fades in and then you get that love that opening. It is when I first was thinking getting really heavily into them at the time that I already had the first 2, and then Hysteria came out, and then Pyromania, and then Hysteria, and then Adrenalize. And I was like, I want to learn to play guitar that way, but I never did do it. So I wish I had it, but I love that opening lick. It's just terrific. And the song itself is pretty good. It can be considered a bit sexist now, I would assume, but it's still a great song. Number 30 on my list of favorite Def Leppard singles is Women. At number 29, another song from Hysteria, Animal. Never cared for the video for Animal, but I like the song. Even though it's raunchy and it is a great song for what it is. It's just a little bit of rock and raunch thrown in together with this really weird video that has all these circus and zoo imagery and stuff. I think they could have done a better video, and it was proven later on in the album when other great videos came out from the album. But I like the song a lot, and it just is something I never get sick of hearing. Number 29 from Hysteria, Animal. At number 28 is probably the one that most of the vinyl community will not be familiar with. It is from their most recent album, 2022's Diamond Star Halos. The song is Kick. This is, pardon the pun, a very kicky song. I just really love the fact that you listen to Kick and it sounds like old-time Def Leppard. Joe Elliott still has that wonderful raspy quality to his voice, makes it work. They still sound as good as they did in 1980 and 1982, and it's just really a great song. Kick is my favorite song overall from that album, which is a great album. If you haven't heard it, you should stream it or pick it up. Definitely worth it. It's very old school Def Leppard. A lot of great stuff on it. Number 28 from Diamond Star Halos, Kick. Number 27 is the title track from, I always forget which year it was, 1997? 6? Slang, from Slang. Slang was going for a different sound. They deliberately were going for a different sound. They kind of tried to mix their own sound with kind of grungy and alternative sounds, and it was a success. Now, some critics really hated it here in America. It got better acceptance overseas. And it was a really great album and deserved better than it got. Slang is the lowest of several songs from the album on this list from me. I love the song, don't get me wrong, but there are a couple other ones I really love. And it definitely deserves to be here. So when I picked all those, I had to put it in the top 30 somewhere. So number 27, title track from Slang. Number 26, I was not that thrilled with Euphoria. Euphoria is a good album. It's not a great album. It came out in 1999, and it did produce a #1 single on discjockey.com and a top 10 song on the Billboard mainstream rock chart called Promises, which is number 26 on my list. Promises is a great song. It very much harkens back to stuff from Adrenalize. I wish the whole album had been that good. Of all my Def Leppard albums, it's probably my second least favorite. I really am not a... There's some stuff, there's some really good stuff on it, and there's just some average stuff on it. And I feel badly because I love the band. But if I had to drop off an album from taking one with me somewhere, I would leave Euphoria at home. That doesn't mean I don't love the songs, certain songs, and number 26 is Promises from Euphoria. Number 25, incredible video, incredible song, Foolin' from Pyromania. Love the stuff from Pyromania. The videos were incredibly imaginative, and Foolin' was not quite up to snuff compared to Rock of Ages, which is the best video from the album, but it was definitely up there and a lot of fun to watch. Foolin' itself is a great song. You have that great, foolin' in the chorus. Really great song. And, I mean, Def Leppard's the most rock I've ever been. I mean, I love hair metal, but Def Leppard was the first, and I really love them, and I love that song. And it represents the best parts of 80s hair metal. It's got the sound, the look, the feel, everything. Number 25, Foolin' from Pyromania. Number 24, Stand Up, Kick Love into Motion from Adrenalize. I love Adrenalize backward and forward. It is my favorite Def Leppard album by far, and everything on that album is excellent. Stand Up, Kick Love into Motion, it did not quite it didn't get up as high as I wanted it to, and I think it's Tonight missed entirely because there's just some other great stuff. I love the songs, all of them, and I had to put it somewhere, so number 24 is where it landed. Stand Up, Kick Love into Motion. Or as my friend Jeff would go, Stand Up, Kick Love into Motion. The whole parentheses there. Number 23 comes from a great album with a really bad title. It's also the only song on this list that has someone else with them. Number 23, 9 Lives, Def Leppard and Tim McGraw, who has one line. He gets full credit, but he has one line. From the ridiculously named Songs from the Sparkle Lounge. Never understood the name of this album. I know I need to go back and find it, but I said that when I was talking about it on Influencers. It's a top-notch album. It has great songs all the way through, but I would just love to know where that title came from. I know it, I think it was partly inspired by their residency in Vegas. I don't know. But Nine Lives is a great song. And for the one line that he actually, well, it's actually, I think it's two lines. Tim McGraw's obviously a big fan of the band and obviously enjoyed himself. You can see it in the video. I think the song itself is a terrific song that deserved better than it got on the American charts. I think it did pretty well overseas. Number 23, Nine Lives, Def Leppard, and Tim McGraw from Songs from the Sparkle Lounge. Number 22, Make Love Like a Man from Adrenalize. This was the second single from Adrenalize, the follow-up to Let's Get Rocked. Great song from beginning to end. A bit too macho with its title, but it is a lot of fun. And I mean, the video is fun, the song is fun. You can tell the guys are really enjoying themselves when you're watching the video. And at this point, they were a four-piece. And because Steve Clark had passed away, Vivian had stepped in on tour but hadn't yet recorded with them, although I'm trying to remember if Vivian's in the video. He may be or he may not be. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I saw it. But in any case, it is a lot of fun. And the song itself, it's a bit, like I said, a little too macho. But it is a great, fun song. So, number 22, Make Love Like a Man from Adrenalize. Number 21, I think it's the oldest song on my list. And I thought it would be higher, and then I started looking at other stuff, and I'm like, oh, wow, it's not. 21, Bringing On the Heartbreak from High and Dry. This was their staple song, the song that everybody first got introduced to them with, because MTV played the video incessantly during its first 2 years on the air, before Pyromania came out. They played first the original video, and then they played the redone video with the remixed version. And both of them are great, and both of them have great music in it. And one of the few songs on my list to feature Pete Willis, before Phil Collins joined the group. And it's just a great song. As I said on a recent Kirkham Report, I picked up Mariah Carey's Charm Bracelet solely because of her cover of this song. She does a great job on that song. Joe Elliott loves Mariah Carey's version of that song, and it is terrific. It's only so low because there's so many more songs that I really love. I was expecting it to be in the top 5, top 10, top 15, but it didn't make it. It's at number 21, Bringing On the Heartbreak from High and Dry. Kicking off the top 20, another song from Adrenalize, I Want to Touch You. This is a song about sex, pure and simple. I mean, it really is. I want to touch you. I don't know how else you're going to touch somebody. Again, video was fun. The song itself is great. It captures that wonderful feeling. Adrenalize, for an album that was made in the tragic wake of Steve Clark's passing, has some real amazing energy in it. You can tell that the guys were using this to recover from Steve's passing, and it is evident in every song on the album, and along with that one. So number 20, I Want to Touch You from Adrenalize. At number 19, the only song Def Leppard ever did specifically for a film soundtrack. Number 19, Two Steps Behind, originally featured exclusively on the soundtrack from The Last Action Hero. It later popped up on their kind of retro oldies and B-sides album, Retroactive. Two Steps Behind was their last top 40 hit, or next to last. I think Miss You in a Heartbeat cracked it at number 39 or something like that. It's a great song. The video is kind of weird. Two Steps Behind, it's filmed in reverse. I don't get that. But the song itself, all over the radio in '92 when it came out, terrific song. One of their slower songs, one of their ballads, which they excel at doing power ballads, and it is terrific. The version on Retroactive I think, is slightly different, but not that much, so you wouldn't really notice it unless you're comparing the two. Number 19, Two Steps Behind, from the Last Action Hero soundtrack and Retroactive. At number 8, Too Late for Love from Pyromania. I was unaware that this was actually an official single. I think it was a radio-only single. I do remember hearing it on QFM 96 in Columbus, which was the metal station in Columbus, Ohio at the time. And so they played all the hit Def Leppard stuff, and they played Too Late for Love. It's a great song. Again, it has this great ballad feel to it, although it has more of a power sound to it in the middle than most of the ballads they do. But it is a really great song. And if it did come out as a single, it should have done better than it did. Number 18, Too Late for Love from Pyromania. Number 17, the song that broke them wide all over the world, Photograph from Pyromania. Of course, you have the whole Marilyn Monroe clone murder motif going on here. Lots of bondage imagery again, which is also evident in Rock of Ages and to some extent in Foolin'. Really terrific song, well written. The video helps bring the song to life. This was the first song that broke them huge after Bringing on the Heartbreak got them the exposure on MTV. Photograph broke them worldwide, and they've been huge ever since. And that's a good thing, because they're just a terrific band, and that was a great song to start off with. Number 17, Photograph from Pyromania. Number 16, Now from X, or 10, depending on which way you look at it. I've always just called it X because I didn't really think of it. It is designated as 10th, even though it probably is. Another great power ballad from Joe on vocals, powerful vocals, great orchestration. I have never seen a video for it. I think there is one, but I've never seen it. Now is one of those songs by Def Leppard I can listen to over and over again and never get sick of in a row. It's one of those songs that grabs a hold of you and says, pay attention to me, this song means something. And it does. It is terrific. And X didn't do as well as I thought it would do. Or 10. And I actually liked it. There were some parts of it that were... It wasn't like Euphoria. I liked it a lot better than Euphoria, but it has a couple of weak spots. This is not one of them. Number 16, Now, from X, or 10. Number 15 is the only cover on this list. And I might get beaten around the head with a mallet by some people in the vinyl community, but I love their version of this song. Number 15, Rock On from Yeah. This is their cover of the David Essex song, which was later an even bigger hit by Michael Damian from the movie Dream a Little Dream in 1989. This is I never liked the David Essex version. Now, it came out when I was much younger. I was 9 or 10 when it came out, and I just didn't like the weird music behind it. I know a lot of teenagers thought it was cool at the time, and I've grown to like the David Essex version over the years. But I really love Def Leppard's cover of this. I think they did the best version of the song, hands down. I like the way it's been thought out. I like the video. Again, another playful video. Really terrific work on Joe's part. And you can tell he loves this song when you're watching him sing it, that he grew up with this. I mean, yeah, it was covers of the songs they listened to as kids that inspired them to become who they are. And this album, this song, just a stupendous version of the song. Number 15, Rock On from Yeah. Number 14, this is a song that, damn it, should have done way better on the chart. And I really wish it had gotten its due, but because it came out in the 2000s, it may have got a little bit of rock radio play. There was no hope of crossing to the top 40. Undefeated from Mirrorball Live and More. There is a side of studio stuff on Mirrorball, and Undefeated is one of those songs. It is by far a great song about never giving up. This is something this band has never done. They've never given up. They've fought back from the loss of Pete Willis to Phil Collen, Rick Allen's accident, which took his arm, Steve Clark's untimely death. They have fought back from it all and made it work. And Undefeated is the perfect theme song for them. I tell you the truth, I'm kind of surprised that Vince McMahon didn't grab it for Raw or SmackDown. It's a great song for that too. Number 14, Undefeated from Mirrorball. Number 13, the title track from Hysteria. Hysteria is a terrific album and probably my second favorite overall behind Adrenalize. It mellowed out the heavier sound from earlier in a way that made it palatable to larger audiences. They did that with Foolin' on Pyromania, and they did it with Bringing On the Heartbreak from High and Dry. This whole album, Mutt Lange is obviously the influence there, was a little bit less pushing toward the heaviness. Now, I love the heaviness of Onto the Night, but it's not everybody's cup of tea. And I said on my influencers that I like it better than High and Dry, which I do. I think there's great stuff on High and Dry, but I like the vibe from On Through the Night better than the vibe on High and Dry. By Hysteria, the band and Mutt Lange were practically, joined at the hip, and he produced a terrific album, and truly one of the greatest albums of all time. It has some amazing music, and the title track brings it all together. It's just terrific. Number 13, the title track from Hysteria. Number 12, another song from X, or 10, Long, Long Way to Go. This is another song that's another heartbreak ballad from Joe, and he really excelled. The older he gets, the more he excels at doing these. He is just fantastic. I mean, right now he's in his, 64, 65 now, and he's still got the voice. He still can do this power. And his ballads are filled with emotion and angst. And that's the way this one is. Long, Long Way to Go. Deserved better than it got. It got some rock airplay in America, which is good. Should have been a top 10 hit. Nope, of course not. Number 12, Long, Long Way to Go from X or 10. Number 11, Have You Ever Needed Someone So Bad from Adrenalize. Another power ballad. You can tell I like the power ballads. This song is filled with longing. It was out when Kim and I were first getting together as a couple. We'd been friends for a couple of years beforehand. And we were separated by 1,000 miles. She's in Boston, I'm near Columbus, Ohio. And she sent me a import CD single of this. And it's like, wow, this makes this connect with us. So that song connects with me in ways that other people aren't going to get. That's why it's so high. Number 11, Have You Ever Needed Someone So Bad from Adrenalize. Okay, top 10 territory. Let me get another drink. Number 10, Desert Song from Retroactive. This is the final song released with Steve Clark on guitar. It was recorded back before he passed away. And the song itself wasn't released as a radio single only. It was not released commercially. And it was terrific from beginning to end. Retroactive is one of my favorite albums because it does showcase the B-sides that never got airplay. It showcases a lot of rarities that no one's heard, like the different versions of Miss You in a Heartbeat. The things that are missing from Retroactive, Me and My Wine wasn't included. Release Me wasn't included. And Release Me is just hysterical from beginning to end. Desert Song brought tears to my eyes because I loved Steve Clark's amazing guitar, and it's just an amazing, amazing song. Number 10, Desert Song from Retroactive. Number 9, Rock of Ages from Pyromania. Number 9 is one of those songs that it is better to see it than hear it. Not to say that I didn't like hearing it on the radio, but the video with the whole evil monks thing going and the bondage, I mean, the video is a masterpiece, and it helps sell them in a big way to whoever hadn't been caught already by photograph. Rock of Ages is just a great song, and it is a staple of early '80s rock and the MTV era, and you will always hear it. It's one of those perennial songs you hear on classic rock stations by them all the time. That's why it's up there. Number 9, Pyromania's Rock of Ages. Number 8, from Slang, All I Want Is Everything. Another song, another power ballad that Joe does so well. Another song that did way better overseas than it did here. I believe it was a top 20 hit in Britain. It didn't even crack the chart in America. I don't even think it cracked the Rock Tracks chart. I might be wrong about that. I'll have to look it up. But it's a great little song about, wanting everything out of a relationship. All I want is everything. A great, great song. Joe, again, captures that angst perfectly. Joe does angst really well. The whole band does, but Joe, as the vocalist, does it really well. Number 8, All I Want Is Everything. Number 7, Love Bites from Hysteria. Another one of these heartbreak, kind of twisty love songs or love gone wrong songs, with great imagery in the video, terrific music on track. It is, I believe it's still, I'm thinking it is their only number 1 hit. I think Pour Some Sugar on Me got stuck at number 2. It was a great and is a great song. It's another one you'll hear on classic rock radio, on classic hair metal stations. And this one, I think, is best because of all their hits, and they're very good at doing it. Love Bites really showcases the harmony that Def Leppard provides when they're doing vocals. You got Joe, you got Phil, you got Rick, you got Steve Clark on this one, and I'm leaving out Rick Savage. Really amazing harmonies on this song, and it's better than anything else they've ever done. I love the harmonies on some other songs. They have great harmonies on Rock On too, and Have You Ever Needed Someone So Bad, but this song takes the cake for the harmony in the chorus. Terrific stuff. Number 7 on my list, Love Bites from Hysteria. And back to back with it, also from Hysteria, at number 6, Pour Some Sugar on Me. Who doesn't love Pour Some Sugar on Me? I like the album version. I know the video version with the echo from the live performance is well liked by people too. But I like the album version myself overall. That has the step inside, walk this way, at the beginning. This song is so filthy. And it's disguised well. I mean, you're going to know what it is. It is, it's a sex song. That's all you can say. It's a sex song. And it's terrific. It's always been great. And again, harmonies are good here too. Pour Some Sugar on Me, number 6. Okay, number 5, Miss You in a Heartbeat from Retroactive. This song pisses me off that this song wasn't a number 1 hit. I don't know what the frick is wrong with the American record buying public in 1993, because this song deserved way better than the number 39 I think it peaked at. Bunch of douchebags. This song is one of their best. It's a tender love song. I love the acoustic version. I love the piano only version. I love the video, which was shot at Joe's Joe's garage, Joe's farm in Ireland. It is incredibly beautiful. The song is Joe at his heartbreak best here. Um, and this is the acoustic and the piano are just Joe on vocals. The band doesn't really do harmonies except on the mixed version, and it was the acoustic version that came out as a single. So it deserved better than it got. Number 5, Miss You in a Heartbeat from Retroactive. Number 4 is going to really mess with your mind. Number 4, Breathe a Sigh from Slang. I adore this song. Breathe a Sigh is the most creative mid-tempo ballad they ever did. It's not a ballad, it's not a rocker, and it doesn't sound like them, especially. I mean, you know the voices, but it has such a different vibe. The whole Slang album has a different vibe, and it's not a bad vibe. It's a good vibe, which people are now finally figuring out. It took them 20 years, but they're figuring it out. Breathe a Sigh is this breathy, wonderful, mid-tempo ballad about what it feels like to be in love, you know? And it's really a freaking awesome song. I wish more people knew it. It was a single. It did nothing in America. I think it charted in Britain. And it should have. I mean, it just should have. Number 4, all-time Def Leppard singles from Slang, Breathe a Sigh. My number 3 is my biggest hit from Hysteria, Armageddon It. I have loved this song from the second I heard it. Number 1, I love the wordplay. Are you getting it? I'm a getting it. And then they spell it Armageddon It. A little bit of Inagata Davida going on there. But that's something Joe has always been into, was the little weird wordplay. Thank you for letting me be myself again, whatever it is from Sly and the Family Stone. Joe likes to do that too, so they did it with Armageddon. Video's awesome, live stuff. One of their biggest hits. I don't remember if it hit number 1 or it's peaked at number 2. I want to say Love Bites was the only number 1, but I might be wrong. I haven't got the wiki in front of me or my chart books. But it was easily their second biggest hit, and maybe their first. I'm not sure. But it's just another great sex love song, you know, a little bit of everything mixed in, and it shows off that rock can be melodic. Sometimes rock is rock for rock's sake. That doesn't make any sense to people, I know, but that's how I think of other rock bands that are constantly. There's no melody, or there's not much of a melody. Metallica comes to mind. Megadeth, although I love some of their stuff, comes to mind. Def Leppard has a melodic sound to their guitar work, and it is really obvious in Armageddon It, number 3 from Hysteria. Number 2, When Love and Hate Collide, the only new single on the Greatest Hits collection, Vault, from 1995. When Love and Hate Collide peaked in the 60s in America. It was their biggest hit in their history in Great Britain, where it spent, I think it was 7 weeks or 6 weeks at number 1 on the official singles chart. When Love and Hate Collide, another one of those heartbreak ballads that Joe does so well. And it is... I mean, the vocals on this, and again, the harmonies and the chorus, amazing. The video is pretty straightforward. It's mostly a performance video, and has great stuff. And of course, for Vault's release, they went and played, I think, 4 or 5 continents in one day. They played Europe, Africa, and North America, I think. So 3 continents in one day. And it's just a great song and deserves better than it got here in the States. Number 2, When Love and Hate Collide by Vault. From Vault, excuse me. So have you figured out what number 1 is yet? Have you? Come on. Number one spent 6 weeks at number one on the Kirkham Report chart when it came out. Longest running number one song. Third longest running number one song, I think, on the Kirkham Report chart in its history. The only one that had more weeks at number one was Careless Whisper, which spent 7 weeks at number one. And I think it tied with Thinking About Something by Hanson, which was 6 weeks. Great song, outstanding video, and even though it's not on the soundtrack, it's included in one of my favorite guilty pleasure movies. Number one, from Adrenalize, Let's Get Rocked. I love Let's Get Rocked. It is my all-time favorite Def Leppard song for a reason. Number one, the groundbreaking computer animation in the video is fantastic. I love the attitude of the kid in the song. He's supposed to be a teenager. Of course, by this point, they're in their 30s. Great stuff, though. The song is great. It didn't do as well as I'd hoped it would do, but it had been 5 years almost since Hysteria came out by the time Adrenalize materialized. And so it didn't do as well as it did, although it did well on the rock chart. It didn't. I think it peaked at like number 20 on the pop chart, 18, something like that. And it's included in a movie that is a guilty pleasure for me, and I will explain that here in a second. I was going through some really rough times in my life with work and other stuff at the time the album came out. And there was this one movie, really silly, stupid movie, that I loved. I went with a friend the first time I saw it. In the span of 2 weeks, I saw it 8 times at the theater. I've seen it, I don't know, countless times on DVD since then, because it is wicked, ridiculously funny and stupid at the same time. And to me, it was the only thing that could pull me up out of this depression I had fallen into. So I was going to the theater nearly every day to see Encino Man. Sean Astin, Brendan Fraser, Pauly Shore, Megan Ward, Michael DeLuise. Great movie, fun. It's a stupid fun. I like Fun Size too, the Nickelodeon film. Stupid fun. That one has even better players. Thomas Mann's one of the cast members, and Thomas is just one of the greatest actors of his generation. But in any case, I digress. Let's Get Rocked is in the school scene where they're first coming into school, where they've got Link dressed up as a modern exchange student, and they're walking into their high school in Encino, and Let's Get Rocked is playing, and I'm just like, yeah, baby. Love it. I will always love that song. I will always love that movie. I connect them, even though it's not officially a part of the soundtrack. There were several songs on the soundtrack that in the movie that were not on the soundtrack album, and that's one of them. But one of the greatest soundtrack albums ever, too. Number one, Def Leppard single, in TC's humble opinion, 1992's Let's Get Rocked from Adrenalize. So there it is. I've ranked my top 30 Def Leppard singles, finally. Do you know how hard this was for me? Number 30, Women. Number 29, Animal. Number 8, Kick. Number 28, Kick. Number 27, Slang. Number 26, Promises. Number 25, Foolin'. Number 24, Stand Up, Kick Love into Motion. Number 23, 9 Lives. Number 22, Make Love Like a Man. Number 21, Bringing On the Heartbreak. Number 20, I Wanna Touch You. Number 19, Two Steps Behind. Number 18, Too Late for Love. Number 17, Photograph. Number 6, Now. Number 16, number 15, Rock On. Number 14, Undefeated. Number 13, Hysteria. Number 12, Long Long Way to Go. Number 11, Have You Ever Needed Someone So Bad? Number 10, Desert Song. Number 9, Rock of Ages. Number 8, All I Want Is Everything. Number 7, Love Bites. Number 6, Pour Some Sugar on Me. Number 5, Miss You in a Heartbeat. Number 4, Breathe a Sigh. Number 3, Armageddon at number 2, When Love and Hate Collide. And number 1, Let's Get Rocked. The songs that I have on the list down here that didn't make the list, there's 12 of them. So apparently there were 42 singles according to Wikipedia. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And I'm sure your mileage may vary. Everybody has their own, preferences. I'd love to know what yours are. What are your favorite Def Leppard songs? Tell me in the comments below or email me. You can do either one. My email address is in the show notes. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to try and get Rank This on every week now. I'm a little late because I had to re-record it. And don't forget to leave a comment because I don't know how I'm doing without your input. And I love talking to you guys. So please comment, okay? Until next time for Rank This, which will normally appear on Thursdays, not Fridays, which is where this is right now. I apologize. I am TC Kirkham. I'll see you soon. Ciao, baby. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.